Hi everyone, welcome back to this Navigator series in which we are trying to decode the current affairs preparation from its very basics to its very advanced level. So here we are, in which we are going to give you the step-by-step procedure of how to prepare for current affairs throughout your UPSC journey. So you saw that in the previous video that you just saw is that we understood the various methods as to how to prepare how the current affairs things, what are the various sources and how to combine those sources in a manner that your preparation is complete. We understood that there are three methods broadly. One in which newspaper is your primary source and then you supplement it with the magazines and the internet research. Second, in which the magazine became your primary source and you supplemented it with the internet research and the newspapers at a second round. And third, in which the current affairs classes was your primary source and you supplemented it with the help of newspapers and some amount of internet research and you made notes out of it. So in this particular video, what we're going to see how exactly the newspapers are to be read, right? So there is a lot of doubt in the minds of students as to what is the right way of studying the newspaper, what exactly is to be read from the newspaper, what is to be left, which content is useful, how to make the notes, all those things. So in the upcoming videos and in this videos, we are going to see the step-by-step process of reading the newspapers and the magazines for you. Right, so I'll take up a newspaper over here and I'll tell you what exactly is to be read in the newspaper, how exactly it is to be read from the current affairs perspective. So in this particular, the objective is why exactly are we reading the newspaper, what are we getting out of the newspaper, how to choose the right topic, and how to choose the right content, whether the content has to be read or not, how to read it, what to read it. Fine, this is what we will see, and what is to be done beyond the newspaper. Is the newspaper end of all, right? Is there something which needs to be done beyond newspaper to make a comprehensive coverage of our current affairs preparation? Okay, so let's talk about newspaper reading. Now I have talked about the three methods of covering the sources. Now there is a method in which you have to cover the newspapers. Fine. So newspaper reading methods. The newspaper has to be covered in 3 rounds. It's a method which is known as 3 rounds method. Be very careful over here. Try to understand it in a very careful manner because this is the step-by-step process of reading the newspapers. Fine. So let's talk about this particular thing. In the first round, what you have to do is known as the round of awareness. It's known as the round of awareness, right? Now in this particular round, what you're doing is that you're just flipping the pages, right? You're flipping the pages and you're getting aware as to, okay, this particular topic is there, this topic is there, this topic is there. And then because you have done the PYQ analysis, right, because you have done the PYQ analysis for both the prelims and the mains, you have a better understanding as to what kind of topics can be asked in the question, can be asked in the examination. You're choosing the topics of priority 1 and priority 2. Okay? You're choosing your topics, very important. This will save the time. If you go on to read each and every line in the newspaper, you are doomed to fail because not everything in the newspaper is to be read for that particular day and for the examination, right? So you're choosing your topics. Now this is the first round. You're just reading the topics, trying to understand, okay, you're not reading the content, mind you. You're not reading the content, you're just giving cursory look at the content. Okay, what is there in the content? Not reading line by line, not reading word by word. Fine. By getting that cursory look, you're understanding, okay, is this topic relevant or not? If it is relevant, priority 1. If it is not relevant, cross, not needed. Slightly relevant, priority 2. Take, you're doing that. Now that is what is the benefit of round 1. The benefit is that now you are prepared, you have the awareness, now you are prepared to enter into the round 2, you are prepared to enter the newspaper. You get a bird's eye view, okay, these are the things which I am understanding. These are the things which I'll cover in today's newspaper. International relations, this particular topic; society, this particular topic; polity, this particular legislation; internal security, okay, terrorism and narco-terrorism is in news, or maybe money laundering is in news, right? In environment, okay, climate change is in news, okay, railways and infrastructure is in news, fine. These are the things that I'm going to read, a bird's eye view. So I'll explain this particular diagram at the end of these rounds, but you are at round 1. Okay, I'll explain this diagram at the end, at the round 3. Fine. Next is round number 2 for the newspaper reading. Now round number 2, again you're coming back to the first page, fine, and then this is a more deeper round. You are reading the newspaper in a more deep manner, but only those topics which are priority 1 and priority 2, only those topics. Understood? Only those topics are to be read. Everything else is just ignored in that particular round. Okay? Now, what you're doing over here is that now this particular round has sub rounds. Now, each article, let's say you have an article in which I'll take the example even today. So, I'm explaining the method first, and then when I take the example, you will have better understanding. Okay? So, each article will have, let's say this is the article, right? You will read this article in 3 rounds. Again, round number 1, round number 2, and round number 3. Again, the first article is the first round is the round of awareness. You are just cursory look at the article. Okay? Cursory look at the article. Now you're reading word by word. Yes, you're reading word by word. You're reading sentence by sentence. You're reading paragraph by paragraph. But there is no conscious effort of understanding things. Do not stress yourself for understanding, oh, what is the meaning? Oh, what is written this? Why this? What this? Where this? All those questions. No. Just read. Just become aware. Okay? Just become aware. There is no understanding in the first round, and this is very, very fast. Now, this round is very fast. Just like the first round of newspaper reading, it was just flipping the pages, right? And marking, okay, this topic is important, this topic is important. That was a fast round. In 5 minutes, you will be done. Right? This particular round, the round 1, it will hardly take 5 minutes. Right? When you come to round number 2, it is a more deeper round. This is going to take good amount of time. Understood? So in the first round, you are doing, in the first round of reading this particular article, what you're doing is that cursory look, no understanding, just becoming aware of what is written. Now this will help you in understanding whether the content of that particular article is relevant or not. If the content is not relevant, you will leave the article right there, taking out things, maybe few things which are important, because not always under the right topic you will get the right content for the examination, because we are reading the newspaper from the exam's perspective, right? So when you have the cursory look, you decide whether you have anything useful in that article or not. Now this judgment will come when you have done your PYQ analysis, you have done your topper copies analysis, you understand what kind of answers are to be written, but more importantly the PYQ analysis. Okay? Now let's say you decide, okay, this has some good points, some good arguments, some good data points, I will have to enter into this particular thing. Then you go for round 2, which is a deeper round. Now you slowly, this is a slow process, you slowly read the article, right? You underline the things, you pick up, okay, fine, this is useful, this is useful, this is useful. You understand, try to analyze it, ki why exactly this is said, okay, this is the point of this, okay, this is happening, so this is happening, all those kind of things. You analyze it, okay, and then you slowly read it, you underline it, fine. That is the, so basically you have understood. The second round, first round there was no understanding, second round there is understanding. So you have understood the article. In the third round, it's all about consolidation. This is a round of consolidation. So you're making the summary out of it, note out of it. Okay? You're reading the article again, whatever data points, whatever arguments, whatever value addition points you're getting from the article, you're making in the notes. How to make the notes? Next video. Okay? Fine. So this is the third round. you go on to the next topic. So you have chosen already the P1, priority 1 and the priority 2 topics. You go to the next topic, next article, you do the same thing. So you understood how exactly this thing has to be done. What are the sub rounds? Fine. So in round number 2, which is a deeper analysis of the newspaper, each and every article is read in 3 rounds. The first round is a very fast round. You're just becoming aware of the content of the article, whether that content has anything specific for the examination or not. If it has, well and good, go for it. If it does not, skip the content, move to the next topic, move to the next article. Fine. In round number 3 of the newspaper, now this is round, now you have read the entire newspaper content, article by article, P1 and P2, the priority 1 and the priority 2 articles. You have read everything in the 3 rounds of each article, and now you are done with the newspaper. You go back to the first page, you flip the pages again, but now with the intention of consolidation. Earlier you were flipping the page in the first round, you were flipping in round 1, you were flipping the page with the intention of awareness. Now you are flipping the page with the intention of consolidation. Fine. So in round number 1, you were over here, a bird's eye view as to what I will read. Okay, what I will read. In round number 2, you have done the in-depth, very specific analysis of the article. This is very, very specific. In round number 3, again there is a bird's eye view, but what I have read. So now you have read the newspaper. So what I have read, okay, this is happening in the world. Now you're interconnecting things which are happening in the world. Now when you will revise your notes multiple times, you will understand more and more interconnections. Fine. So round number 1, very fast flipping the pages. Okay, this is what is to be read. ये पढ़ना है आज के न्यूज़पेपर में. Round number 2, going deeper. Each article 3 rounds, very fast reading of the article, becoming aware whether it is important or not. Okay, it's important, reading it slowly, grabbing all the points, the keywords, the arguments, the datas, the facts, example, everything. Going to round number 3, again reading the article, making the note of it, gist of it, summary of it, finishing off, moving to the next article. Okay. Then once you're done with this particular thing, going back to the newspaper, flipping the pages again with an intention of consolidation. Okay, these things have happened. Now you have a visual picture. You have a visual image of what has happened. This will stay for long. Alright. Now if you read the newspaper in this manner, trust me, it will take less time than the way you were reading till now. From first article you started reading with full josh. I'll read the newspaper today, complete newspaper, and then after 2.5 hours, you're done with 5 pages only and you're exhausted. This will help you reading the newspaper in the most efficient manner, in the most quick manner, and with much better understanding. Try it on your own. Okay, so now let's talk about, I have taken a newspaper. This is the newspaper of 21st of November. Fine, let's talk about how to read this particular newspaper from the current affairs perspective. Okay, so over here you see this is the first page. The first page is very important. It has all the national news, probably very, very important news. So if you read, now I'm leaving the corners as of now. Find the corners over here and the corners over here. I'm leaving it. Okay, we'll read it, but right now I'm leaving it. So let's talk about the first news which is there. It's the Maharashtra's election which recently happened. So the question is, so when you see this, now I've written few things on the newspaper for your understanding. Now as soon as you see this particular topic, what will come to your mind? First thing that should come, where in the syllabus I can locate this topic. If this topic is there in the syllabus, only then the UPSC will ask it, only then I am supposed to read it. So as soon as you have this particular topic, okay, elections. Okay, GS2, elections is one of the syllabus topic. Remember and mug up the syllabus completely. That is very important. Okay, so GS2, elections is there, and what is the topic? The topic is voter turnout. Okay, that is a topic under elections, voter turnout. So there might be certain observations as to voter turnout is high or low. Now, if the voter turnout is low, definitely it's an issue for or concern for the democracy of India, right? So I'll just read. Okay, so now there is better voter turnout than in 2019, which is a good thing. So probably there can be a question as to if this is a trend. Now I'm telling you, if this is a trend across India, if Election Commission comes up and says that yes, the voter turnout across the country is improving, then the question in UPSC can be, what are the steps which the Election Commission has taken because of which we see increased participation of citizens in the elections? Understood? That can be the question. If the voter turnout, the trend is like it is declining, or some places it is declining or something like that, the question can be, what are the reasons why the citizens are not participating in the elections of the largest democracy of the world? The reasons, okay? Reasons for good voter turnout, the reasons for bad voter turnout. Over here, when you read the second line, over here, it is written that the urban centers such as Mumbai and Thane have low voter turnout. Now you're getting the point. Now you're getting the topic. The topic is not just voter turnout, but voter turnout in the urban areas. Okay, that is an issue. Now that can be a question. Fine. So that is why in the round number 1, you will just tick mark this particular topic. Yes, I will read it. I will see what exactly is there in this particular topic. Let's see. Fine. Now for your sake, for the time's sake, I'm not going to go through the newspaper again and again for 3 times. What I'm telling you now, let's say you're into round number 2, fine, and you're going to read this particular topic. Now, once you read this particular topic, you will see in a cursory look when you're giving the round 1 of the article, you're seeing that it has lot of data points. Lot of data points are mentioned over here. Fine, lot of facts are also mentioned over here, but they are very specific to Maharashtra. Fine. These points may not be very useful because the question in UPSC, unless you are giving the Maharashtra PCS examination. But if you're focusing on the UPSC, these points are not very useful because they are very specific to this election in Maharashtra, right? But what is important from this particular news article is the data about voter turnout in Mumbai. Now this you can use as one of the data points in your answer or as an example. Now this can be said, in the elections of 2024, Mumbai posted this much and Thane posted this much. Okay, approximate values can be written. No need to write 52.07. Approximately 52% is fine. Okay, but more important is this particular data point, that tribal the left-wing extremism affected areas have more voter turnout as compared to the urban cities. Now there is a good point, good argument. Okay, urban areas are contributing or participating less, but the left-wing extremism areas are participating more. Fine, this is a good argument to be written in the answers. It can be. So you'll take this down in your notes in the third round of consolidation of this particular article. Note making we'll see in the next video. Okay, understood? What is the relevance of this particular topic? Yes, the topic was important. So over here in this newspaper, in this particular article, the topic was certainly important, but the content was not that important. Okay, the content was not that important. Only few things were important in the content, which is this particular data point. Let's move to the next topic. The next article is on exit polls. Fine, exit poll is a good thing. You need to know, at least from the prelims perspective, you need to know the definition and all those things about exit poll. But once you have a cursory look on the particular exit poll data which is mentioned over here, it is all about data relevant to this particular article, nothing analytical as such about exit polls. So yeah, in terms of content, this is not needed. You will just skip it. Just skip it from the exams perspective. Move on to the next article. A very important article from the Manipur, because it is talking about the Manipur violence which is going on. Fine. Okay, so when you do the cursory reading of this particular thing, you will become aware of the situation of Manipur. But specifically any particular point which is useful might not be. You will not get the content. So can you see one thing over here? Can you see one thing over here? That not every time you are getting the content, but you are getting the topics. So Manipur violence or regionalism or tribal issues, this particular topic will come under tribal issues as well. From GS1 perspective, this can come under regionalism as well. This can come under border issues as well. right? So it can become relevant. This topic, this particular news can become relevant from multiple topics, but content is not available. So you will have to prepare. That is where internet research. Understood? That is where internet research will come in. Okay, we'll talk about it. Fine. So in this, what you get is that when you have make the notes, you make the notes of a topic which is important, Manipur violence. That's it. Okay, nothing as such to be written from the article. Now, next article, which is a very important article, climate summit, the recent climate summit, the COP29. Okay, in which is the preparations and everything which is ongoing. Fine. So this is a very important topic. Now when you read the article, you get some points. Okay, the vulnerable nations are demanding 1.3 trillion dollar with respect to the climate deals, and the big nations or the developed countries are not agreeing to it, right? So what is the issue which is emerging out of it is the issue of climate finance. Now, with respect to climate finance, you do not have all the content in this article or in this particular news. You will have to prepare it separately. You will have to prepare it separately because climate finance can be a question in the UPSC. You at least need 5 to 6 points or 10 points on climate finance. Prepare your notes in the manner that you have 10 points on climate finance. You got the topic from here. You got the issues from here. All right, that is there. Next article, this is on the money laundering case which is going on. This thing can just be used as an example. There is nothing in this particular article that you can write in the examination, but yes, something going on, some example, some event, something going on in money laundering, you can definitely use as example in your answer. For example, the Chidambaram case with respect to money laundering. Okay. So that is something which is relevant. Okay. Now let's talk about the sidelines, the side headings which we left in the earlier thing. The US government cancels passport of 2022 officials. Nothing important, but what will become important is the India-Bangladesh relations. Because significant changes have happened, very significant changes have happened in Bangladesh. So India-Bangladesh relations will certainly become important from exams perspective, right? So you will have to prepare India-Bangladesh separately. Again, Delhi's air pollution, certainly, lot of pollution. The AQI is said to be crossing 1500, huge amount, right? Air pollution certainly becomes a very crucial topic. So from here you're getting the topic, not the content. You're getting the topic which can come in the examination. Next, Nadal has retired. Important because we see that sports is becoming a relevant news article from prelims perspective. So maybe in mains, obviously, there will be no question on Nadal. Right, the mains question can be from the national sports governance bill. All those questions can come, or let's say the e-sports that we have. Those sports can definitely come as a question in mains examination, but not on Nadal. But tennis can become important from the prelims perspective. Okay, so you have to understand. Okay, you write the topics. When those topics are not available in the magazine, you go for the internet research. Fine. Okay, India-China agreed to rebuild the mutual trust over here. Definitely, India-China land boundary is in news these days. Certainly, now, when you prepare the IR topics, which I'll talk about in the next video as well, right? You have to be very careful as to there are certain issues for multiple countries. You have to find out points under those particular issues. That is what you have to do. Okay. So India-China relations, land boundary, fine. That is a topic we have to prepare on your own. Fine. Now, this International Film Festival of India, nothing as such important, probably the awards can be asked in the prelims examination. This you go for the magazine, from the magazine. Don't try to search about the awards from the internet. The magazines will compile it for you. Okay? Let's move to the next page. So you understood the thing. From the newspapers, what do you get? You get the topic, definitely you get the topic. Okay? Then it's not necessary that you get the content. You can get the content. I'll tell you in the next few pages. You get the content as well, right? Over here you got some content. You got the data points. Some data points you got it. Some data points you got over here in the climate value topic, right? So you get the theme. You get the topic. You get some arguments. You get some data. It is not complete, but it is important because you get the trend as to what can be asked. Now preparation has to go beyond newspaper. Understood? Let's take a few more examples. Okay, so over here what is happening, the Kolkata rape issue which is there. So which topic becomes important? The topic of women's safety. Under this particular article, nothing as such in terms of content is important, but the topic is important. Okay, this topic is coming again and again. Bengal rape case, Bengal rape, coming again and again. Women's safety becomes important. Now you have to prepare women's safety separately. Okay, but if you do not read the newspapers, you will not get which topic is recurring again and again, and which topic is to be prepared, or which topic is to be read from the magazines. That is why newspaper reading becomes important. Okay. Now what anti-Naxal operation? Okay, some kind of data point you can get over here. Ki Mr. Sai told that that around 200 Naxals have been killed in the last 11 months. 600 to 700 have surrendered. So that's a good let's say performance of the government, that Naxals are surrendering. It's a good thing. You can quote this particular thing as data points. So you get a data. Finish off. Nothing to be read. Okay. School job scam, just be aware, kind of corruption and everything happening. Again, the teacher issue over here. So what becomes important, if this news becomes repetitive, which topic will become important? The topic of teachers under theme education in GS2 will become important. You will then have to prepare the topic of this particular topic, but if it does not repeat again and again, it's fine. You can probably skip it. Okay, nothing over here. The WAC board, yes, the bill is supposed to be passed in this particular winter session which is going on, right? So this particular article, not the article as such becomes important, but the topic becomes important. Now once this bill has been passed, you will see a lot of editorials. You read them at that point of time to get an entire understanding. No need to read every day. Okay, wait for that bill to be passed. If it is not passed, definitely it will not be asked in the examination. But what is important is the minority rights in India. That topic, it is going into that topic, religious and minority rights in India, Article 29, Article 30. Okay, so those articles are becoming important. Fine, that is there. Now in this particular this is a case study. This newspaper will give you, this particular article will give you case study. Okay, the state of Rajasthan is taking certain measures for energy security. Fine, that is the only thing that you get from this particular article, nothing else. Fine, let's move forward. Nothing to be read over here. Again, this is an election issue, by-election, Palakkad records this thing. Fine, election is in news, you can just skip it. Okay, Waqf board, again I told you, read it only when it has materialized. Fine, moving to the next page. Okay, this is an important topic. Now FAO, because FAO is a very important organization, it says that climate change will disrupt aquaculture, right? So number one topic is the impact of climate change. Now over here, what topic can become important is the impact of climate change on blue economy. Let's say impact of climate change on blue economy. Aquaculture will be part of blue economy. So impact of climate change on blue economy. A specific question can come, impact of climate change on aquaculture, or aquaculture ka importance can also be asked. What is the importance of aquaculture? That also can be asked. All right. So that will become important. So because FAO has said this, right? So that is something which you have to keep in mind. So now since you're talking about the impact of climate change on aquaculture, you also have to understand the impact of climate change on multiple other domains. Impact of climate change on children, impact of climate change on women, impact of climate change on migration, all those things will become important. Okay? So that is how you have to understand, okay, climate change impact is a news article. You keep this thing in note. I have to prepare on impacts of climate change. Then you search the internet, you prepare for it. Okay. Yeah, this is the news. This is the news with respect to the land boundary treatment, land boundary agreement with respect to, let's say, the India and China, all those things which are going on. You can read this, be aware of it, okay, and get the relevant notes. Nothing else. Yeah, so Delhi's air pollution. So air pollution, as I told you, that particular topic gives you the topic which is relevant. Now you have to prepare the reasons, you have to prepare the technological solutions of air pollution. Okay, you have to prepare some kind of data points. What exactly is the pollution level in multiple cities, where it is more, where it is less. Those things have to be done. Those things are not given in this particular article or this particular news item. It is only about Delhi. The question will not be specifically about Delhi, probably. It will be on air pollution as an issue. Yes, Delhi you can write as an example over there. Fine. Okay, some case study or some example you got ki how to tackle this, how to impart positivity in the youth. So there is one particular example over here. Maybe you can quote in the ethics paper. That's it. That's all about this particular thing. Nothing to be read at all. Okay. So it will act as an example in the ethics paper or as a way forward. Now this becomes important. The Prime Minister's visit to the Caribbean partners. Now this can become important from the IR's perspective. Now from the prelims perspective, you have to understand what is this organization CARICOM. Okay, what is the meaning of CARICOM? Read now. We talked about in the prelims PYQ analysis that how organizations are asked, what are the dimensions in organization, whether India is a member or not, whether it's part of the UN system or not, how many members are there, what is the function, all those things, when it got established. Okay, all those things you will have to read about whenever you see an organization over there. What are these 7 pillars? Okay, those things. Now you will get certain good points over here. Agriculture, food security, health, pharmaceutical, science and innovations. These are the areas. Now go to the certain specifics, what exactly India is doing. Okay. The 5 T's. What are the 5 T's? The trade, technology, tourism, talent and tradition. This is what is the aim of India in this particular region. Fine. CARICOM heads. Who are these? Okay. So about CARICOM. So this is an important one. You also get certain content over here. Okay. Now EVM, definitely EVM is many times it's in news. Election definitely is in news. Okay, so EVM pe what question can they ask? The question could be the trust in the election process. That could be the question. Okay, so EVM can be one part of the argument or one part of the answer. This is very important. Ki how using technology, the politicians or the campaigners are avoiding or overcoming the rules and regulations, how they are violating that through. Now what they are saying, ki campaign by phone even on the polling day. The campaign has to stop before the polling day, isn't it? But through phones, maybe calls, maybe some kind of social media, something, right? The campaigning is still going on to influence the mind of the voters. Now this is how technology is influencing elections. Now the question can be, what are the threats of technology to elections? Now you will see in the future, again this particular article, see technology, cryptocurrency impact on elections. It's in news, very important. So a question can be whether technology, what are the impacts or drawbacks or threats of technology on elections, or a specific question could be how cryptocurrency is playing role in the Indian elections. Can be a question. How AI is playing role in the Indian elections. So elections become a very crucial topic, and then role of technology, EVMs, cryptocurrency, phone calls, social medias, those things, voter turnout, urban areas, those themes. So you understand the under election, what kind of questions can be asked. You have to prepare for them. Okay, that is there. Money and muscle power. Again, the issues with elections. Okay. This is IFI, important for the prelims examination, nothing as such important. Now this is a topic, now this is a very important topic. Look at over here, the planetary crisis puts children at risk. Very important topic because it is becoming a topic. So in GS1, when you have GS1, in that society topic, in that the theme of child, the issues or the threats to child. Under that particular thing, how environmental issues are acting as a threat to child can be a very good question, and you get a lot of points in this particular topic for your relevance. So when we see the note making, we'll see how these points have to be written. But this topic is giving you the topic. This particular article is giving you the topic, and also it is also giving you the content under that particular topic. Okay. So this is how you move. Similarly, GM crops, hunger, definitely important. How to solve, can GM crops solve the problem of hunger? This is the first question. What are the apprehensions with respect to GM crops, right? That is the second question which can be asked. Okay. GM crops per se, the technology can be asked in the mains and the prelims paper. So once you're reading this particular topic, you should be very well aware of everything around GM crops. Okay. Pending issues of COP29, the climate finance issue that we have already seen. So you will get, see, the primary aim of COP29 is to agree to a new target of how much money should be provided to the developing countries to help them adapt to the climate. So climate finance is the issue. in the COPs. Now you read this particular article, a lot of good points you will get with respect to GM crops. Very important one. Now editorials, everyone will say that editorials is very important, right? But this editorial is more on Sri Lanka. Right? You can read it to make yourselves aware of the Sri Lankan politics, but the question, if it will come on India-Sri Lanka relations, right? In which the knowledge of Sri Lankan politics will be helpful. So the question directly will not come on what is the political scenario in Sri Lanka. It will not come. The question will come on India-Sri Lanka relations and how the present situation in the Sri Lanka, the present political order in Sri Lanka is impacting. Okay, so you read this article, but read it from the perspective of India-Sri Lanka relation. Fine. This particular article, again, it's an article on exports, the trends and everything. You can go through it, but since these are trends in the recent past, probably not very important from the exam's perspective. Because when the exam comes, you will have to look at the bird's eye or a broad trend. Okay? But you read it for your awareness, right? Similarly, this particular article, you should just particularly read it, get awareness about it, nothing much as such. Now this is an important topic. Now this is a topic which as such probably might not be important if it was coming once, but since it is recurring, the Indian prison, issues in the Indian prison continuously for the last, I would say, 2-3 years, this is in news. Anytime they can ask in prelims examination and in the mains examination, certainly. Now when you read this particular thing, you will get multiple Supreme Court judgments. Definitely you will get a lot of Supreme Court judgments. You have to keep a note, just like data, facts, examples, you have to keep a note of Supreme Court judgments as well. And this is a very important article. You have to read it. It gives you the topic of Indian prisons. It gives you the content also under that, arguments also under that particular topic. Okay? That is it is. Air pollution, we have already talked about it. It's a good article. It gives you a lot of data points and comparison between India and the other countries. Read it. Okay? Heat waves. Certainly, and Tamil Nadu coming up with a policy. That means heat waves as a topic is becoming important. So heat waves you will prepare. What is heat wave? What is the reason of heat wave? What is the trend of heat wave? What are the consequences of heat wave? Then what are the steps, what are the challenges which exist in tackling heat wave for India? What are the steps India and the states have taken? So over here you can write the Tamil Nadu's heat wave policy. And if something unique is there in this particular policy, you can quote as a case study for the rest of the country. That is how this topic can be used as a case study. Okay. Packaged food, definitely an important topic because it becomes a topic from food security and the non-communicable diseases. Important topic, gives you a lot of arguments and data points as well. Read it. So giving you the topic, giving you the content as well. Okay? Because this is a scheme, PM Vidya Lakshmi, it's a scheme. Schemes are important from prelims perspective. Definitely, even from the mains perspective, this can be important. So you understood how exactly the reading has to be done. Now over here, see this, SENVAT, you need to understand from the prelims perspective. Okay? Then inflation, we talked about in economics, the statics and the currents are related. So you need to know inflation and you need to know what exactly is happening. So just a cursory reading of this to get a glimpse of what is happening. Okay? Coffee board organization, tea board पे question आ चुका है, coffee board question can come in from the prelims perspective, right? India Australia renewable energy partnership. What are the steps India is taking for renewable energy? 1 point, India and Australia's partnership. If the question comes in India Australia IR, what are the various relations or various domains of relations between India and Australia? One is energy, other could be trade, other could be security, all those kind of quad. Okay? That is there. So this is how you have to read it. The certain topics which give you certain articles which give you only the topic, certain articles which give you the topic as well as the content. Certain topics which give you a lot of content, comprehensive content on that particular topic. That is how the newspapers are to be seen. Right? Taliban issue is there, Bangladesh issue is there, correct? Ocean heat waves. Very important. Heat wave is important. Marine heat wave is also important. Now this is a sports one. So Rafael Nadal has retired. Definitely tennis becomes important. So you have to read this particular thing. Now not everything in sports has to be read. You are going into the analysis of cricket. Okay, if you're a cricket fan, definitely you should read it for your fun, no stopping you. But from the exams perspective, all these things, all these news articles are not very important, okay, because they are going into the analysis of sports. And I told you, sports is an emerging thing, so factual things will be asked. Okay, fine. Now chess is becoming important, definitely. Gukesh, who is playing the world championship match right now, isn't it? So definitely chess as a as a topic, as a sport, is becoming really important from India's perspective. A lot of grandmasters are there in India now from chess. So what is the summary of till now? What we have read is that we have to, from the PYQs, we understand the kind of topic which will come. Okay, from the PYQs, we understand the kind of focus area with respect to any particular topic, and then when we have this understanding, we go to the newspaper, right? And we, in the newspaper, we get what? We definitely get the topics which are important. Sometimes we get the topic and some content, right? And sometimes we not just get the topic, but we would also get the complete comprehensive content. We'll get the complete comprehensive content with respect to it. Okay? So that is what you understand from the newspapers. This is how you have to read the newspapers. Now moving on to reading the magazines. Now newspapers was one thing, one primary source, magazines is the other. So we have talked about the advantages of magazine. The advantage is that it is highly consolidated, right? You can read it in a very fast manner, covering things in a very fast manner. Coverage is really good, right? But the limitations we have talked about in terms of understanding. Okay, so how do you make sure, how do you read the magazine is the question. So what you do is that, first of all, you should have, because see, even in the magazine, though the repetition of topics will be less, but still there will be repetition. For example, AI topic might be there in the month of September, it might be there in the month of October as well, something under AI. But AI as a topic you have to prepare completely, isn't it? So you have to be, you have to make sure that everything under AI is at one place, right? That is where the indexing will come in. So if you're taking magazines as your primary focus, as your primary source of information, then definitely what you need to do is to have a collection of index. Probably I would tell you, make an Excel of it. Whenever you're reading a magazine, make an Excel of it so that it's easier for you to search that which article came in which particular month, and therefore you can consolidate your preparation. Okay, that is what you have to do. So creating a culmination of the index is very, very important. Fine. Now what is there in round 1? So how do you read the magazines? Just like newspapers, in magazines you have 2 rounds. Okay, first round is all about underlining. Okay, you are not making notes out of the magazines in the first round. You're just reading it. Again, reading has to be done in 3 rounds. Any reading has to be done in 3 rounds. Fast reading, cursory reading, slow, deep reading, and consolidation. This is to be done for each and every article, big articles, not small articles, but big articles of the magazine. Underlining things, making the marking things, everything, and revising. So once you have revised it at least 2 times, then you go to the round 2 and make the notes out of it. Okay, because before the examination you will not be able to go to your magazines and revise, flip the pages and read everything. You need a consolidation. So certain things which are consolidated in the magazine, you can just copy paste it. For example, places in news, for example, some kind of organizations and those things. But certain analytical things, you need it at one particular page, one pager notes as we call it, right? One pager notes. Okay. So that is how the magazines. So read the magazines, revise it 2 times. In the 3rd time, you make the notes. The magazine is of no use now. That is how the magazines have to be read, if that is your primary source. Now, I've told you, once you have read the magazine, go to the newspaper. If in case you feel that the analysis in the magazine is less, you go to the newspaper, you read the newspaper by searching the articles on the internet. You add those points in the notes. Okay, that will happen when you have revised for 2 times. Then only you can add things over there. Then only you will understand, okay, what is lacking. Okay, so you understood how, at which stage newspaper is coming in when you're reading the magazines. right? That is what has to be done. So this is the magazine, let's say the Vajiram's recital magazine. Now you see over here that some or the other topic would get repeated. For example, the topic over here, the AI topic, first legally binding treaty of AI. Fine, that is a topic in the month of September, as well as it's a topic in the month of a similar AI based topic is there in the month of October also. So once you have a list of this index with you in a Excel format, you can just quickly search under the theme, okay, AI, what are the various articles? Okay, in these 4 months, when you read that topic, you read all the articles together. Now you consolidate them into notes. That is how you read the magazines. Not that you are consolidating each and every article. Okay, India AI mission, 1 notes. AI treaty, 1 notes. Nothing like that. AI as a topic. Read everything around AI. Make the notes on AI. That is what is the consolidation. Fine. So that is how you read the magazines. So what is the summary of the entire video that we talked about? The summary is that the newspapers give you the topics, sometimes give you the content, and it is very important, they only give the content sometimes. You have to go beyond the newspaper. We'll talk about in the next video, that how to go beyond newspapers. You have to go beyond newspapers, right, to complete your preparation. But newspapers definitely give you the topic, the trend which is going on. That is why this is very, very important. So your effort, what I want from you is that go and read the newspaper in a manner that we have discussed, round 1, round 2, round 3, right? Make notes out of it and see if it makes a difference. See if you're able to cover the newspaper in a faster manner. You have to do it for 4 or 5 times definitely. In the first time, probably it will take more time. But once you are rigorous with this method, it will reduce the stress, it will improve the efficiency. So that's all for this particular video. In the next one, we'll see how to make notes out of the current affairs, how to make specific current affairs based notes in the next section, and I'll answer a few questions also. Fine. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for listening patiently. I hope you have got something out of it. All the best and thank you.